Hello everybody, I'd like to show you my Year 9 Websites Media unit and focus on the assessment task and activities, which actually had quite a heavy writing bent in it. Okay, now look, this is the assessment notification here, which I gave to students right at the very beginning of the unit, and that was really important because then students knew what they were working towards and what was expected of them. I actually handed them this assessment marking sheet as well, right at the beginning, so they knew what I would be looking for. Look, here are the outcomes that we assessed. These are from the current stage 4 and 5, or stage 5 English syllabus. I'll definitely be adapting this soon for next year for the new curriculum, because this is a unit that I considered highly successful and I'd like to continue with. Now, for this unit of work, students had to create each one of these articles within their website. So they had to create a website. And we did that over 6 weeks. Most of the assessment task time was done in class, of course with lots of editing at home. Students worked on their DER laptops, which were basically booked and loaned out. Students didn't get to take them out this year. I didn't end up having time for the last couple of things that I wanted in the unit. We did this over 6 weeks. We found at the end we were kind of rushing it with all the disruptions. So I told the students they didn't have to do these things. Because most of us were working through at the same pace, that wasn't a problem. And like I said, it was very important that this was issued at the beginning of the unit, so students were clear about what was expected of them. In terms of quality teaching framework, I thought this unit was really successful because it really required, for a really successful or high marked assignment or grade, students would have expressed a deep knowledge and deep understanding through the use of this ICT tool of the media that we were looking at. What actually happened, that when we were creating these texts, we would look at about one per week, and we'd do just the usual textbook style text analysis of a variety of different text types, and we looked at purpose and audience and the unique features of each one of those text types that I pulled out of textbooks. But we would spend less than half the time on class analysing texts. More than half the time was spent actually creating, the students creating their assessment tasks and the students creating their websites. So we look about one of those texts once a week, spend one lesson analysing it and 1 or 2 lessons actually creating on the laptops using Weebly tool, which I'll go through soon. So back to the quality teaching framework. Look, it was very explicit what was expected of the students. There was definitely high engagement. They really enjoyed being able to choose their own topic and write about what they wanted to write about. So there was a lot of self-regulation and student direction in there as well. And I guess this unit took advantage of background knowledge and definitely embraced their cultural knowledge, because the students got to choose what they were writing about. And that's about the rest of it. That's an explanation of the assessment task that we did. Why did I choose the ICT tool Weebly that I'm about to show you? Look, it was a really easy to use tool, and we weren't assessing students' technical skills or ICT skills really, we were just assessing their understanding of media. And I thought it was a perfect tool to get students to be creative with. Yeah, that's about it. So I think I'll jump now to showing you the actual website. Okay, now we're going to jump to the actual Weebly website. Now you can see up here, I'm logging on to the education.weebly.com, and you can just log on to plain weebly.com. I'm pretty sure those sites are blocked for students, but there's a way around that, of course. Students log on to this students.weebly.com site, and that of course is not blocked for them in New South Wales. They log on to there. They can't actually go and, they can't actually go and view their websites that they create live, but they can through their preview and publishing options through the student website. They can see their website. They just can't go onto the public version. That's if the teacher creates a public version, which I didn't really do. One of the important questions is, why did I choose ICT, or why did I choose this particular Weebly tool? I just thought it was a perfect tool to encourage students to be creative, and you'll see how I demonstrate that in a minute. and I thought it was a great way to get the kids to write, you know, in a variety of formats in an engaging way, and they really found this interesting and engaging. So I'm going to log on to this website and start showing you a few different features. Okay, now I don't know if I've forgotten to mention, this is the website, or this is the Web2 tool that students actually create their website with, and I'll show you how easy it is to do that very soon. This is a teacher's screen. Students get something very similar here in the My Site section. I've got a My Student section here. Now I've paid the $40 annual fee to be able to get some extra features here for use with the classroom. With that $40 fee for the Pro account, I get 40 student accounts instead of 10. Students have an unlimited number of pages on their website, and normally they would only get 5 pages on their website. And there's a bigger upload limit, and I'm pretty sure it's just a little bit easier to manage the accounts. I think if you get 5 other teachers, I'm not sure if they still do it, but they used to have a process where if you got 5 other teachers to sign up, you'd get it for free. But this is my back end. This is where I sort of create students, and I can add a student here anytime I want. This is my list of students. I can go through here and click on one of their sites and just put up in a second, and a student website will pop up there, and this is what one of my students has created. Her website's on Weird and Wild, and she's got a feature article in here. We'll go down there, I'll have a look at it later. Great feature is I can print a student list here, and it prints off some tickets for each student, which gives them their URL and their password. But enough of that boring stuff. I'll jump to up here, the My Site section. And this is what it'll look like if a student has created a couple of sites. And to start from scratch again, you just click Add Site. And we give this a website. I'm not very creative at the moment. So if I call this website My Life, I would continue there. This is a class project. I continue there. This is where I can just give the website a name, and there we go. And students get this screen here where they start putting their website together. Okay, now you get your one basic page here when you start, and students get to muck around and play with things like this. I can edit this image here and go to it and crop it and things like that. And I can start, and then you delete that and upload your own image there, of course. I've told all my students they're not allowed to use any stock image from the website. They need to sort of choose and select the things themselves. You can start to design your layout of your page. I think in the pages section here, you can just change the layout a little bit. You can choose a basic overall design for your web page here. So if I want to, a dark stylish color scheme, I could choose that there. And if I wanted a new page, I'm pretty sure I go here and click on this button here and click Add a Standard Page. And I might call this page My Pets. Click Save Settings, and it gets added to the navigation bars and stuff up the top. And then I might want to add something like multiple columns here, so I can go and add some text. And then I do things like drag elements here. If I want a picture in that column, I drag that picture here. Or if I wanted a picture with paragraph, I could drag that option up here. And as you guessed it, I just click on one of the pictures. Pick a picture from my computer, and then it lets me upload it. Okay, now I've saved you a bit of time here while I was uploading pictures. If I want to change anything in any of the pages, I added a text. I just grab this text box here and I drag that down to this side of the table. It's simply a case of clicking in those boxes and going and copying and pasting text in, for example, over here. And that's how the student would put their web page together. I'll try and shrink that a bit so you can see the layout sort of on my screen. Most of the things here, if I double click that there or edit my image there, there we go. Most of the things on it, you just double click to go and change and edit. And the students will have a save button, of course. They've got to save to that page or save to all pages. And there's a whole bunch of effects and that sort of thing they can go through up here. So that was all in the basic section up here. There is a multimedia tab. And if the students wanted to, they could drop in a little audio player down here, which I'll do and then go and save you a little bit of time. Let's just see if that goes underneath there. There we go, and the students would then click on that and be able to upload an audio file. Whatever, some narration of that picture or some music to go with their website, whatever it is. The multimedia tab, they can put a slideshow of photos, a flash object if you're going that far, or just embed some YouTube video. The revenue tab, I'm pretty sure we don't use. I encourage my kids to use it this year. We seem to have forgot about it last year. Some students were doing a website for their business, so they put, or a fictional business, so they put their some of that revenue stuff up there. And so basically I just wanted to explain how this is all pretty much click and drag, or click and drop, sorry. Okay, the other important thing to show you, very important to remember, is to use this publish button, or tell students to use that. I'll click it now and it publishes your website. You can't actually see properly students' websites until they click that publish button. So my students all know that once they click that publish button, their assignment is submitted, and they can keep clicking that as many times. Every time they make changes, they click that button until the end. I can go through my teacher's back end again, and I can disable any editing of the websites. Now this is the pages section up the top here. This is for another site I had created. I was really just mucking around with it just to show you, once you get a page, or once you get a site up and going, you can see the multiple pages under here, and you can change the navigation and the layout and pages, and you know, put pages over here and things like that, and make sub pages and things like that. Okay, now of course importantly, here are a couple of student websites that my kids created. This one's Weird and Wild, I think I referred to before, about weird and wild animals. This is a student's feature article. She showed a lot of progress on this one because her draft feature article was basically a factual report, and I spoke to her about adding a human element to that, and you know, we helped to change it into she included 3 examples of how raising or looking after weird animals affected that person's life. And she created and uploaded her advertisement here. And there's another student's website here about dance. Of course, that was her choice. Look, this was her advertisement. Not her best piece there, and definitely not the best one in the class. But we jumped to her feature article. You know, this needs a bit of work, and I'll assess that in terms of needing to be more visually appearing and having a friendlier layout perhaps. But, you know, she's done this website to look at how dance has changed over time. Okay, now some of the advantages of this unit of work and using this ICT tool was, like I said, I think it's a perfect tool for encouraging students to be creative. The engagement factor was pretty high. Students enjoyed, and they got to choose what they were doing, and the ease of use, of course. We weren't really assessing technical skills here. We're assessing the students' choice of layout, choice of images and color, and of course their writing in this one. Look, one of the biggest challenges was, I guess, with electronic forms of production here was plagiarism, but I found a couple of websites or a couple of pages that were ripped straight off somewhere else. But being electronic, it's pretty easy to copy and paste text and search for that sort of thing. Marking the website, giving accurate or close feedback to close to a lot of the text of what they'd written was a little bit challenging in the beginning. But what I used was Acrobat Pro here, and if you use the Create PDF from web page option there, you get the option to put in a URL, and depending on the settings here, you can capture the whole website into PDF, which works, just for text and pictures. and allows me to give, closer feedback, especially textual feedback for the text. I do give students another feedback sheet, but what I can do here is, using the commenting tools up here in Acrobat, I can highlight bits of text, and students get little comments when they double click on those or just hover over them. And that's how I gave feedback to most of the students, as well as an overall feedback sheet that said, great choice of colour scheme on a particular page, or great choice of pictures for your feature article.